Already ruined cuckoo to you and all, and nobody's not watching out there. I ran out of time and she finished her sentence with, "It's giving me nightmares, and not the fun kind." It's like, just Hellraiser, just like, oh yeah, it's like, Are you making a reference to Blink-182? It's like, hello there, angels from my night. Probably not. You look like you would make fun of me for quoting Blink-182. What else can you have to say? What's that? No. Did I ask you a typical day?
Describe a typical day in your life.
It looks like he's kind of laughing like, let's see how this
I
goes.
wake up. I eat
Unfortunately.
breakfast. I feed my familiars.
Yeah,
I
as you
go to
do.
work. When I get home, I like to relax. Work on my bug collection.
In my head, I'm just going to replace you with, what's her actual name? Oh, I only know her by the YouTube thing that she goes by. Swimsuit Succubus, or Susu JPG, or JPEG, something like that. She's a sweet girl. She seems very interesting. In my head, I'm just going to, like, I don't know how accurate your personality is to that, but it's just, that's just more pleasant for me in my head, so I'm just gonna kind of like, Suzu seems like a genuinely real and interesting person as, okay, actually that doesn't seem fair. It's sort of like downgrading to like copy paste, just like, nah, put you over this, it's better. It's like, that's not nice to the person who's a real person, and you're a real person portraying a character that I really wanted to like, and just like I don't know. It's sad when you want to like a character and you're just like, I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. Is it the actress? Is it the way they look? Is it what they say? Is it the way they say it? Is it is it writing? I don't know. It's like, oh, this is the person that should be my favorite, and it's like, well, that didn't happen, huh? Like, yay, Cthulhu. It's like, you just make me realize that just what I said is so disrespectful to the actual human being who does the thing, that is a real person, that, again, has a, everybody who does, the social media and such, it's a projected, we only see what those others want us to see. We don't know those people, like, really, and we just get to see the version of them they cultivate, etc., blah, 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 all the psychology stuff. And it's disrespectful for me to even compare the two, because, like, you are such a not that at all. I guess it was just that you're like, oh, I have bugs. And I know that Susu seems to have a pretty extensive collection of various insects and arachnids, if I recall correctly. As well as all the knives. Every knife. Like, knives for days, knives for days. It's like, to quote Helsing Ultimate, knives for days, knives for days. Like, I say knives for days. It's like, I don't own knives for days anymore. I think no matter what part of my life I've ever had knives for days, it's not knives for days like Susu has knives for days. Susu, keep being you, and I hope whatever you're doing, you're good. I know that recently you said something about changing up your stuff, which I think you said something about talking about, like, tapeworms at some point. I'm like, I don't think it was, maybe it was tapeworms. It was something that I'm like, I don't really want to know about that. Everything else, I'm like, I don't think I'll watch that video, but you want to talk about the horrors of the existential cosmic horror that is the potential of philosophy concerning the reincarnation as a philosophy and actuality possibility of our, you know, like whether or not you believe in the religion, like you put it very clearly. It's like, what if I have to be everybody ever? It's like, that seems like the worst thing. That's like hell. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but the reality is, I'm all of them if that's the case. It's like, what the fuck? That's it. It's like, just stay the you are, because you seem more or less pretty happy with that right now. You just hold on to that, hun. Just keep that. Because obviously it does get worse. Ow! I made myself sad. But if I'm Susu, it's Susu, it's me. Because that's a possibility in the sense of this. What if we are all literally one in a more literal sense, just different times and spaces, and it's just we're all in this together, and not in a that should be a uplifting statement, and it's like, no, we're all in this together in the sense that we're all in this alone together. Congratulations, me. I just made myself super. There's that cosmic horror. That's the eldritch blast you wanted to do to yourself for some reason. Why are you like this? You can't just. Why are you like this? Like, you couldn't just stop. It's like, oh, it's an insult to compare these two just because they have a gothic vibe and said stuff about having bugs. You know, nope. You gotta just sit there and just. Let's pull at that fucking spider thread and go down into the fucking trapdoor spider's fucking hole. Let's go into the rabbit hole. Let's find out where, you know, fucking, what was it? That one is like Gung Jin pot or whatever, poison, where it's like, put all the friggin' poisonous creatures in one spot in old Chinese legends and let them just battle royale that shit. And then that's how you make the poison. They just, whatever wins. Like, let's just do that, but emotionally and mentally for no real purpose. Again, nobody watching this. I genuinely hope Susu never sees that, because it's like, or has already come to that conclusion and dealt with it. So that existential dread is no. It's like, yeah. I've been there, done that already. Yeah. It's like, I got the T-shirt. It's a crappy T-shirt. It's not even like, it doesn't even fit. It's ill-fitting. And the T-shirt's just like, I have no mouth and I must scream, but meh. Meh. What's the point? Click. Watches like streaming service of your choice. Rewatches some serial killer documentary or whatever. Whatever, you know, it's like, yay! I hope you're. I don't know. I don't keep up with literally anybody on YouTube unless they show up in my feed. I randomly look. I'm like, hey, I haven't heard from this, seen anything from that person in a while. I was like, yeah, they posted something like 2 months ago. Why didn't you see it? It's like, oh, it didn't show up. I follow like 1,000 people. I don't know. I genuinely don't. Like, I don't. If it doesn't show up, I don't think of everybody all the time, every day. Too busy being everything all the time. No. Everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at once. Yeah. Boom. Bring it back to this philosophy. But Sue, if you are Sue, may I call you Sue? I probably shouldn't call you Sue, but I don't. That feels uncomfortable to me, and yeah. Nobody's listening to this. Why are you doing this? But do check out that movie if you haven't seen it. Susu, JPEG, JPG, GIF, Jiffy Lube, Jiffy Peanut Butter, Peter Pan, Peter Butter, Hook. Oh, Captain, my Captain. I'll just keep going. What dreams may come. Keep getting. It's like a 1 hour photo. This is like make it like, oh, it just got darker and sadder. Okay, why would you do that? Well, because echo chamber. I am much like this actress here, in the sense that she's in a room that is like a sound studio, or at least appears to be. I'm not positive it's real. It could be it's probably just a green screen, because that would be cheaper. Also, the perspective doesn't seem quite right, but it could be real. I don't know. It's not like that would be super expensive to do or set up, but I'm just alone in a room talking to myself. It's all for the entertainment of not who's listening, but who's playing a game. There we go. Back to the philosophy. Moving on. Happiest memory. Did I not already ask you that?
What is your happiest memory?
That moment somebody's heart
When I
stopped
was in
beating.
4th grade. Our teacher.
I'm gonna pause it. I gotta say this. I just have to, because it'll be fun for me. Just the fliplets, and it's like, there was a day that a man was about to be hit by a bus. I had the power to stop it. I could have called out to him. He could have gotten out of the way, but I didn't. Not out of fear, but out of intense excitement. As though this was all just a little show being put on for me. Like a puppet dangling on a string before the flames of his master's furnace. And it was that day that a part of me died. But I also believe, it was that day that the darkness in me began to shine. To quote to paraphrase and poorly quote Ryan Gosling from SNL. The fliplets. Check it out. Check it out though. I was cruising on the street at my Impala. I accidentally hit this guy, and then Ryan Gosling was like, oh my god, that was like a puppet dancing in the flame for me. Yo. Right. So offensive. Just that classic old school internet reference. Just, man. So that was offensive shit. So like it. Guilty pleasure on my part, I guess, right? Anyway. Oh yeah, this was the one about the seizures. That's fun. Fun fact, or maybe not. No, I guess. I mean, it's not as unfun as it could be. For anybody who has to worry about, well, there's different types of seizures or whatever, and there are different things cause seizures and blah, all that. No, your seizures. But for as far as epileptic, from my understanding, and again, there's different types if I recall correctly. I've been told this. That by wearing an eye patch or having one eye closed or covered, so that you don't have in a strobe environment, or you see movies or video games and they're all just like warning, seizure warning, like those who are sensitive and to this, it's like should be aware that there are strobing effects and swirling and such and the like. That can help mitigate. Negate or otherwise prevent it. Not sure how. I've heard that works from various sources and seen people do it. I don't know from personal experience, obviously, and I've seen people have seizures, and a lot of times it has nothing to do with, again, different types of seizures. It has nothing to do with any disturbing effects. This is not like that. Gotta bring it all back. Gotta bring it back to those guilty pleasures. Moving on. She just died. Just straight up just had a seizure. It's like, the fliplets thing was actually quite appropriate. Like, fuck. Like, just feels like this kid just stood over her, like, while everybody else was freaking out, trying to help, and, like, you know, put a wallet in her mouth so she doesn't bite off her tongue or whatever, you know, like, kind of try to put stuff under her head and cradle her, and just sort of, she just sits there and, like, leans in and, like, tries to breathe in the escaping soul as she expires. Like, look at this face. Look at that. She's just like, it was really, truly. Some people would say that was the day the light in me dimmed. But I say that was the day the darkness in me began to shine. It's like, also, I had her soul with some Lunchables and a nice Capri Sun.
Had a seizure.
Fucking wrong with me.
And died.
It's all fake. It's
We
not
got
real.
to go home early. It was a double win.
Win, freaking win, baby!
That's the end of this round. We'll soon find
I'm-
out who will be going home. After this message from
I
our
don't know about
Today's
me.
episode is
I don't know about me, man.
Are you a hypochondriac? Ask your doctor if placebos are right for you.
Isaiah,
Now
sorry.
it's time for the audience to vote. Please enter the selection
Snake
of the
oil.
contestant.
I'm the salesman. Just buy it. It's good. It'll cover you. It's got you. Just you need a, you know, get a really good celebrity to do the thing. Like somebody with Morgan Freeman tells you something works. You're gonna be like, that man has played God more than I think maybe any other actor. Like, there's a weird thing about him. Like, that's one of the characters. Like, if you think about characters and people who have done things, it's like, he has been literally the character God and the voice of God more times than is. I don't know if ever any apart from like, oh, in a series or something, but I mean like separate times. And then he's also like the narrator, and you know, his sultry voice. He's like, here I am, just in a room, in a little sound booth, sipping tea, reading quietly, getting paid just because people find my voice both authoritative and comforting. It's very down to earth and heavenly at the same time. Thus, the paradox of Morgan Freeman continues on. Whether I'm narrating Penguins or Andy Dufresne's Escape and Redemption. He's not getting shanked like this chick would have done to people. I just trying to keep bringing it back. All right, real talk. I've been hating on her so much. These are the other two. Like, I just want to hear their lies, and I'm kind of tired of hearing her. Like, she's just not selling it. The other two are obvious liars. Her character is just, I wanted to like you, and maybe that's it. It's bothering me. Joe, I don't want to like, look at that. Look at that. I don't want you to win, but you might. The other two are just, you are a fucking liar for sure. I'm pretty sure you're a liar. I don't think you're a liar. I think you're just, it does what it says on the tin. It is a tin that comes from the dollar store. It's Dollar Tree. Woo! But yeah, no, I just don't, I want to like, maybe because I want to like you, just I don't. So, bye-bye.
The votes are in. The audience
Votes.
has voted.
I do send in multiple votes, so it's all me. We are legion, we are many. Please keep in mind, this is not my decision. She's like, please don't hex me. Yeah, that's a good... Nah, you're trying to... She's like, trying to give the host a seizure. Just like, I've done it once before. I'll do it again, damn it. It's like, no you won't. No you won't. Alright, so... I'll go back, I'll end with Joe. Let's go back to this person and just be like, how much of a liar are you? What's your... I thought I already asked a lot of these questions.
Unusual talent?
Most unusual talent. I mean, I've got quite a few talents, but...
Is this the time she says she can
It's
eat
funny,
grass?
'cause some people think that it's unusual
Yep.
that I can digest grass.
I
can't always digest grass. Humans are not known for their ability to digest
Your
grass. but
teeth are
if
too
you
nice.
persevere after the first, 40 to 50 upset stomachs,
Some grass
your
doesn't
body
upset
does
your stomach.
change
It's
and it can do it and
just
adapt
not.
and- I mean, I don't recommend if you've got any kind of, IBS or anything.
It's just
other
not
than
really nutritionally valuable,
works
and
for
it's
saving
bad for
everything.
your teeth. Also, we don't have enough stomachs to really, there's just not much to be had from it. So it's ill-advised. You can do it. It's just kind of dumb. What is your life, lady?
Describe a typical day in your life.
A typical day in my life.
Just want to
is
work out.
searching for
Everything
my missing
sucks.
daughter Mallory.
Everybody's not.
Really,
Don't
it is
really know
one of
why,
the big
but you
benefits
wanna
to being homeless and unemployed is that I can
identify
retire and
where
nothing holding me
Mallory be
back
at.
and stopping me from hitchhiking out there, getting on the road, heading to the last town that I've heard that she was in. When I get to the town, usually I find out that she's just left there suddenly. So
is-
I search for a soup
like-
kitchen
like
or a dumpster, get something nice to eat,
Quantum
and then
Leap mixed with
leave a
Kung
place
Fu.
to shelter until
It's
I
like-
hit the road again the next
I
morning.
keep
trying to
trying to. It's like sliders.
find Mallory.
Mallory, sliders. But you're trying to find your kid, so it's not like sliders. And what else? I mean, Kung Fu, they traveled around. Quantum Leap, sliders. Always chasing something that's just... I mean, there's so many things. Usually it's a bad guy not trying to find your child. I just feel like I see hidden things that don't exist here, where it's like, well, obviously this other redhead is your kid, duh. She's Mallory, she just changed her name, and that's why she never speaks about her parents, ever. And, she wanted to be, all that, but, I mean, does it fit together or does it not? Like, you obviously you were well-to-do enough that you had the ability to ride in a plane before the plane didn't have you ride in it with your family anymore, and then you were pretty much it was just, it's a hard knock life for us and our redhead. Just like Elephant Annie. And then you had a kid yourself, and then they were raised also in that hard knock life, on the streets, and then you went fishing. That fishing trip, the fated fishing trip. And then up to that point, I don't know how you kept them in school, but they wanted to make a six-figure salary and have a big house and not be freaking poor. And because of, that's what they were. And then you lost them. And I don't know, I guess they kept up with that till they got out and went to work, and then we're like, Burning Man. And like, changed my life, dude. Which, honestly, it just makes sense that, like, you're looking for her. She never talks about her parents at all. You don't talk much about your parents, but you've mentioned it a little bit, and you're looking for her. If you guys are not just utter liars, then it would make sense to me. Like, you're both redheads. You have an accent. She does not, but you know, there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, she gets into, you know, child services. She ends up popping around, leaving the island, or maybe you just brought the accent with you, obviously, because wherever you are. I don't know. I'm just saying that seems like a hidden trophy thing that is not going to be. Just like Sam and Rebecca should have been a thing. I don't know why. Maybe they're like, oh, you'll get them if you do things just right. Maybe I'll look it up. I doubt it. I really doubt it. But it's enough for me to think about. What's your... yeah, what's your proudest
What is your
achievement then?
proudest accomplishment?
I was a world record holder.
You held
I
a...
was the last known person to contract smallpox
well, that doesn't
for a
relate.
week. Somebody else did get it after me.
Yeah, I was going to be like, that
Their
doesn't relate.
name. I mean, I don't really remember the week because I did have a terrible fever and a
Also,
really
smallpox...
itchy rash, but they say everyone gets their
it-
15 minutes of fame, and that was mine.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure smallpox tends to have, like, it has a high mortality rate, thus the immunizations of it is quite dangerous. Also, pretty sure it leaves you with lingering stuff. Even just the pox aspect of it can leave you with scars from it, if I recall correctly. Not positive. Not... No, I don't. Yeah, I'm a scientist specifically dedicated to the pursuit of understanding diseases, both bacterial and viral. You just none of what you like. If they've done makeup or something that makes sense, like like they paint on some scars and stuff, like some stitches, and like you're sitting, so it just doesn't seem like you have rickets or. You look like you must be frickin' Wolverine or have his healing factor if you're just sitting there looking like yourself. Like, you know, I could see you on an issue of Home and Gardens in a different setup. You know, you could be on a commercial for Allegra or any number of pharmaceuticals specifically to help with and anything for an SSRI. See that. What else? Other than what I've already said in the past, it's like you definitely look like you could be in a horror movie in a number of parts. You definitely look like you've played parts that require you to die. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. But this character, I don't really believe. And maybe that's the whole point. So you're doing a good job if that's the case. What's your pet peeve?
What is your most unusual pet peeve?
Unusual pet peeve. Well, I tell you, there's a phrase that people overuse all
Literally?
the time, and it really does my head in because people say lightning never strikes twice.
Actually,
I can tell you it does. It
well,
struck
yeah.
me 4 times, so that phrase is total nonsense.
Well,
it's a bum steer.
that's bum steer is actually a proper phrase. Maybe a bum steer, like a crappy. There's a lot of. I get what the phrase seems to mean. I don't know if it's a real phrase or slang. Actually, lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. It's actually that's the one thing I've totally agreed with so far. Yeah, no. If you get hit by lightning, you're actually more likely to get hit by lightning. That's just how it works. Lightning does strike. I don't know why people say that. People who have been hit by lightning have increased probability of being hit by lightning. That's it changes your body. Sometimes with the actual scars that are like lightning like